In this English lesson, I wanted to help you learn the English term road rage. Road rage is anger that's caused by bad drivers. Let's imagine that you're on the highway and everyone around you is driving really fast and they're weaving in and out of traffic, and maybe they're almost causing an accident, and you might get really, really angry. If you get to the point where you roll your window down, I guess you might have power windows. If you roll your window down and you start yelling at people, we would say that you are experiencing road rage. Road rage is just anger that you feel because you are just annoyed with other drivers because of how they're driving, or even if they do things that just bother you, like maybe they're driving really slowly in front of you. That might cause road rage as well. So when you get to the point where you're actually yelling out your window, we would say that is road rage. The other phrase I wanted to have you, the other term I wanted to teach you today is the term sweet spot. So the sweet spot is any situation where things are just perfect. I used this phrase in a comment that I replied to. Someone said that they had 45 students in their class, and I said, wow, that's a lot. I said, the sweet spot for me is around 24 students. That means that if I have more than 24 students, I don't like it. And if I have less than 24 students, I don't like it. So the sweet spot for me is around 24. That is the optimum amount of students to have in a class. Sometimes when Jen and I are putting prices on bouquets that we're going to sell, if we charge $5, it's not enough. If we charge $20, not enough people buy them because they're too expensive. But if we charge $12, sometimes that's the sweet spot. The sweet spot then being the spot, the price point where we make a good amount of money, but people are also happy to buy that item. So to repeat, road rage is when you get angry at other people when you are driving on the road, and a sweet spot is any situation that is near perfect. So definitely the sweet spot for me when I am teaching a class is around 24 students, and when we sell flowers, sometimes we try to price them so that we make money and people are also happy to buy them. Hey, let's look at a comment from another video. This comment is from Furskin, and Furskin says this: hello, Teacher Bob. Personally, it takes courage for me to give a piece of my mind to someone who makes me angry or sad. I guess the reason is that I don't want to sound harsh. However, I think it is sometimes necessary to let such emotions out so that I can forgive and forget, which can lead to peace of mind. So Furskin, this was an excellent piece of writing, by the way. Thank you very much for that. And yes, sometimes letting it out gives you peace of mind, doesn't it? My response was this: great response, Furskin. Sometimes it's best to express yourself and then forgive and forget so you can have peace of mind. In English, we have another phrase: sometimes you just have to let it all out. What that means is that you have emotions, and sometimes if you keep the emotions inside, it's not a good thing. Sometimes it's better to express those emotions. So in the goal of having peace of mind, sometimes it's best to let it all out, because then eventually you can forgive and forget. By the way, Furskin, that's another phrase that I taught earlier. I'm happy to see that you learned that phrase and that you learned it correctly. So, but definitely sometimes when you're experiencing anger or sadness or frustration, it's best to let those emotions out. It's best to express those emotions to people, especially if you are not happy with someone. Sometimes it's best to express the emotion. I'm not sure if road rage, if yelling out the window is the best way to express emotion, but maybe when you're driving and when you're angry at someone and you have road rage, maybe yelling lets you calm down and then eventually have peace of mind.